frustrated. I don't blame those that want to japa. You know, initially I was saying don't japa. Do you hear me say that again? Japa if you want to japa. Because you look at the country and say, what future? If it goes on like this, what future? If it goes on like this, civil war is imminent. If it goes on like this, military intervention is imminent. Make Nigeria one. We don't break. Nigeria is not one, and it can never be one. We are different nations tied together by force. We should still be one country, but let everyone govern himself the way he likes. Are you hearing me? Let the Niger Delta have their oil. Let the East have their resources. Let the Yoruba people have their resources. Let the North have their resources. Let them manage their security. Give them state police. Let everybody guard his borders. Let everybody generate his economy. Why must we generate oil in the Niger Delta and take it to the North? Why must we generate IGR here, or the VATs, and take it to the North? That generate nothing. The 10 key northern states have Sharia. Sharia says no to alcohol. Sharia says no to tobacco. But alcohol and tobacco is what give us VAT here. And you take the money from there to spend where you say you don't want, but you like the money. Fraud. Unfairness.
Me personally, I'm fed up. I have nothing to say about any justice. Where is justice? When evidences upon evidences have been put on ground, and at the end, they look at these evidences and put a very ambiguous grammar over the evidences and bury the evidences. And you see what you are talking about? Look at what happened. I just saw online that the Supreme Court of the United States of America has cleared Donald Trump to run an election. If it's here, how do you do it? These are where systems are functioning. This is where systems are running. So here we don't have a system. We don't have a system. The system are there.
It's an individual problem. It's a corruption problem. Every individual has a price on their head.
Yes.
Even you has a price.
Yes.
So if they pay you to, you compromise.
For what? Personally, me, just as you say, our individual, we have our differences. I have sat in a place with my little experience in a place where I was paid some money to compromise the system. I objected it. In fact, what I'm having in my pocket here now, look at it. It's 3 copies of different letters. Trying to clear my name from ambiguous altercation. That's if I compromise, it will also kill the system that we find ourselves inside. So if I could open this letter, you see that I will not. I exempted myself from it and then made an expose of what is killing the system. I am not that kind. I am not that kind.
So Tinubu is not competent. That's what you are saying, sir.
Well,
President Tinubu.
Whether he's competent or he's not competent, I am not saying he's not competent. I am not saying he's competent. We are watching at him. Already, the system is already gone. We have failed.
So what will you say of this current administration?
For me, I have nothing to say about this current administration because I have not seen any improvements in what we know. Sometimes you think if you are going back to Egypt, it will be better than living in Egypt.
So Egypt is Buhari, and
as you can see, during his time.
Promised land is Tinubu.
No, Tinubu is never a promised land.
The dollar is what you use. The toothpick you use, you import them. The pampers you use, you import them. There is nothing you produce, and you want to make ends meet. It's not possible. So when you see people engage in criminality, you see people doing one thing or the other to survive, you don't criticize them. It is what you will see more insecurity. We will see more insecurity. Nigeria is a lawless country. Why?
Rate this current administration.
Zero. I don't need to rate the government for you because you are a partaker of it. The economy, in as much as you dress very fine, there are things you go to the market to buy, you feel mess up. Maybe you budgeted 12K to go and buy something, and you go there, they tell you it's 18K. You become outrageous. You can't do that. The wickedness is out of this world. And how do the government? They don't even have anything, the way to remedy this situation.
Yes, they don't.
This man, Tinubu, told you that he wished there is another way.
But there's no way.
You don't know it's an impeachment statement. In a civilized world, where people who gave you the mandate to pioneer the affairs of a country, you tell them that you don't know how to go about it again. You show them incompetence.
So it's clueless.
You are clueless. You don't have to remain there. You give people chance who have what it takes to drive the economy, to come in and make it work, to foster the economy. People are dying. People are sick. They cannot access common basic necessity of medical health care.
Declare because of this is critical right now. Is that what you're saying?
The state of emergency that I'm clamoring for is the Nigerian youth. We are sleeping and slumbering. There is no way. If you leave labor to do it, they will always compromise. Because we have people who are so much in love with their stomach. That is stomach infrastructure. Our politicians are very much inclined with their stomach. You don't blame them. They were born, they are children of the system. They were born in poverty. You understand? Their primary aim is to embezzle, to take charge. You understand?
Yes, sir.
So you don't blame them. When you see these politicians go into power and they begin to mess around with public funds, you don't blame them. Why? Because they are the product of the system. The system, the foundation is a dead foundation.
It's our foundational problem now.
Yes, we are not meant to be the same. We are not the same. We are not compatible.
So we should. What you're saying, Nigeria should be divided.
You don't see the other man, Nnamdi Kanu. You didn't see him in court. These are men I value. I value men of competence, men of necessity, men of honor. Hero. These are men I value. Somebody will tell you this is white, he will stand for it, even in death. That man has proven to me beyond human comprehension that he is really the Messiah, because he came and said, I'm coming to die for my people, and he stood his ground because he saw the foundation upon which Nigeria is built, and he said we will not remain like this. It's not being an Igbo man is the situation. The situation is that you as an Hausa man, how do you...
I pray God will give Asiwaju the courage to do it, because it will affect even himself. It will affect all the APC powers. It will affect all the MDs of banks. The MDs of banks are the destroyer of this system. The powerful, the high and the mighty. He is stepping on their toes. I pray God give him the grace to do it. The next thing he should do, tell him if you know him, is to restructure this country. Nigeria is a fraud. One particular tribe repressing the whole of us. Did you hear what Central Bank governor wants to do? Just a department, the operation department of Central Bank, to be moved back to Lagos, where you have 99% of the headquarters of bank. The North is agitated. Don't take Abuja back to Lagos. They don't care. If you all become beggars, it's okay for their oligarchic mentality. I talk like no other pastor talk. I talk like no other pastor talk. Because I have seen into governance, I have seen into the church. And I know where the problem is in this country. Are you hearing me? They may not like what I'm saying, but they cannot dispute the truth. This country cannot go on like this. Okay, I was talking about those who migrated. I don't blame those that want to japa. You know, initially I was saying don't japa. Do you hear me say that again? Japa if you want to japa. Because you look at the country and say, what future? If it goes on like this, what future? If it goes on like this, civil war is imminent. If it goes on like this, military intervention is imminent. Do we want to go back to that? No. Something must happen. I have always believed that something must happen. Do you see the way we pray in this church? Make Nigeria one. We don't pray. Nigeria is not one, and it can never be one. We are different nations tied together by force. We should still be one country, but let everyone govern himself the way he likes. Are you hearing me? Let the Niger Delta have their oil. Let the East have their resources. Let the Yoruba people have their resources. Let the North have their resources. Let them manage their security. Give them state police. Let everybody guard his borders. Let everybody generate his economy. Why must we generate oil in the Niger Delta and take it to the north? Why must we generate IGR here, or the VATs, and take it to the north? That generate nothing. The 10 key northern states have Sharia. Sharia says no to alcohol. Sharia says no to tobacco. But alcohol and tobacco is what give us VAT here. And you take the money from there to spend where you say you don't want, but you like the money. Fraud, unfairness, injustice. Where did we sit down to make Nigeria 36 states? Where did we sit down? Nigeria was negotiated 3 regions. North, West, East. 1963, by plebiscite, Midwest came in. Where did we sit down and say we shall be 36 states plus Abuja, and the biggest one taken to the north? More local governments. Then we came with federal character. You are qualified, but from the tribe you came from, you can't be qualified. Now, you can't pass any law in that National Assembly without Northern approval. They are in larger quantity. Deliberately made so